Greetings and welcome to One Sparkle Love, Spirituality in a Modern World. Presented by Healing by JDL LLC. Now, the song that you hear is Ogdom, alright? I created music and I put it on my YouTube channel and it goes around the world and I don't know where it's streaming at anyways. That's why you pay a music manager to distribute your good stuff, right? So they distribute, so it's out there somewhere. So anyways, the song is called Ogdom, alright? This is Ogdom, alright? The music describes the personality of the character or the scene in the children's book Fracmacology. Now, Ogdom is the father. There are four. There are father, mother, son, daughter in each element. Air, earth, fire, water. And the fifth, I will tell you another time in my book. Alright? There are 5 elements. Okay? Ogdom is the snake family. Alright? Now, for 2014, I won Honorable Mention Mixed Media Women's Artist Art Competition for Fractal Goat. And this is Fractal Goat. This is Go Why. Now, Go Why, as you can see, as I'm painting, all of a sudden it appears, wow, look at that, it's super cool. There's a snake coming out of one of his antlers because it's a goat. And he basically is one of the 5 spirit guides that guide Shawanisha through her adventures of past, present, and future lifetimes. That is Fracmacology. So you can go on Amazon and find Fracmacology 5-in-1. You can find my art on artpal.com, Unispherical Muse, okay? So you'll find that there. And then today's sermon session is Moon Cycle. Now, the moon cycle, many people only equate to a certain hemisphere of Earth. And it's actually so much more than that. And before I read, I'm going to give you a little background that's going to help you in other stuff in life. Now, I just getting ready to make my oatmeal loaded, but before I do, I need to figure out what am I going to eat, because oatmeal loaded is for breakfast, and it's like a whopping almost 10 a.m., so it's getting closer to lunchtime, so I have to cook up what I'm going to eat for lunch and dinner. So the fact that I have a laundry list of medical issues after cancer, there's many things I do not eat, hundreds of things I do not eat, and there are over 900 foods in histamine intolerant. So that means that add that with the other medical issues I have. So it's basically not hundreds, it's thousands of different types of food I can no longer eat after cancer. So I did 6 months putting 68 herbs together. I was doing it for 4 years, and then the last 6 months I was eliminating expansion and contraction in herbs. And so I then eliminated 68, and I'm down to about 20. So 10 of those herbs, for example, is for my nerve damage. There's 8 I can no longer have, and 2 I can. So I put it in my morning tea is for my nerve damage because of the cancer. So I have to, as I always say, I am an alternative doctor. I prescribe non-drug prescriptions. One of those is herbs. There are many other avenues in non-drug prescription. 2 doctor degrees, I'm working on my 3rd doctor degree. So life is my laboratory. I am my own guinea pig. So I have two I can do, and one of those things that I can actually have and not kill my sinuses, inflammation, is itis. Like arthritis is inflammation of your bone. So inflammation is itis. So itis is expansion within your human body, and you need to expansion and contraction. You have to go the opposite of what you believe to be true. So within the opposite, you are now moving through coagulating. You are moving expansion. Just like your door, if you have a wooden door, and your door will expand and contract when it's hot and cold. Expansion and contraction. So this line here is driving me batty. It's from the sun coming through the window. I get an extra line. It's like it's really not there. See, it's really just light. It decided to love my glasses today. I don't know. Anyways, today I pulled out the Oracle Tarot card. And I talk to the spirit realm, and I communicate with God. I do all of that stuff when I start my morning, when I'm up out of bed, first thing in the morning. So today, the spirit realm has brought to me for healing. It is black pepper. Now, I'm allergic to black pepper. Lucky me, right? Black pepper is to banish. Didn't I just say expansion and contraction? To expand, you have to release. You see? Now, to do this, there are certain methods you must do to do this. So, black pepper, according to the Witch's Kitchen Oracle cards, it is black pepper banishment. Beware, be warned, be free from harm. Use peppercorns as a magic charm. Spit of tongue or cursed deeds. I'll banish my pepper seeds. The magic is worked with harm to none. So mote it be. There it is done. So you want to eliminate, banish something? Black pepper. Alright? Now, black pepper was known as the king of spices and black gold. Black pepper dates back 4,000 years. Peppercorns were once used along the ancient trading routes as a form of money, a peppercorn rent. Hypocrites, the father of ancient medicine? I guess so. Hippocrates. Hypocrites. The father of ancient medicine used black pepper in his cures and remedies. Well, there you go. We got how many years ago, gang, that things were created through spices, which are herbs. So this is what I do. I heal. So one of my businesses is Healing by JDL LLC. That's healing. If you need counseling, spiritual healing, spiritual counseling, spiritual teaching, spiritual counseling is another business. So each one, that's why there are 5 businesses, because each one pertains to something different. Alright, so there's your card for today. Black pepper. Okay? And now you're learning about fractal spirits. Alright? My music is somewhere online. Okay? Now, getting ready to cook. I got these about a week ago. pop them in the fridge, cut the tops off, pop them in the fridge. These are pea sprouts. I can have peas. Yay! Of thousands of food, I can have peas. It's an exciting world when you can find something you can actually eat. And it doesn't cause medical issues on top of your already medical issues. So since there's a lot of roots, I just added some water today. I didn't add water for a whole week. So now I'm going to go put this outside, let it catch some rays, and see if it becomes a happy camper. And then I can turn around and have more sprouts coming. And with my medical issues, I no longer can have dried fruit. Pretty much everything comes down to sprouts. It has to be fresh and new. Now, in your younger days, you can have black tea. As an adult, you can have green tea. As over age 50, you have white tea because it's less processed. So your body is older, it's been working hard for 50 years. It's less processing with white tea because it's young. So it hasn't fully matured. Just like when you eat meat, you're going to eat the younger version. When you eat a plant, the younger version. When you eat a fruit, the younger version. As you're younger, you're invincible. You can do anything. As you get older, your body needs help to process whatever it is that you're doing in life. So this is a recommendation as a doctor to take younger the older you get as you consume mind, body, emotion, spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, because I had sinus cancer, the cancer was eating the bone in the middle of my head. Well, the doctor told me for healing those passages to use a neti pot. It's like, I did that years ago. I'm not really into it. I'm not a fan of it. But I've started again. I got my neti pot, okay? Looks like a little teapot, right? And then you get your solution, okay? So you have two sides. One side is big, and then one side is very small. It's a half a size. So I'm going to do a half of a half solution in here with distilled water. And because there's a lot of crap, toxins, within the air and everything else you breathe, you have to clean out your passages. That's releasing toxins. You have toxins all over your body, and everyone in their DNA chemical compound were actually born with cancer cells. Your lifestyle will create the activation of those cancer cells. Everybody's born with them. It's one of the lovely blueprint schematics of our DNA. Just like we have a past life gene, we have a funny gene. There's a lot of genes that science has not been privileged to. They haven't discovered yet. I'm just telling you, these are facts, okay? So in order to coagulate, and coagulating is not just moving blood, coagulating is liquid. So as I coagulate my liquid, I'm building my immune system. I have lymphedema because of the radiation cancer treatments, radiation from my collarbone to the top of my head because of the sinus cancer. I have to move the liquids because I have lymphedema, which is permanent damage of my lymph nodes. So I have to move it. Because if I don't, my esophagus starts falling apart, which is inside your throat. And that's why I have so much extra stretching, because expansion and contraction of inflammation, itis in my throat. So my esophagus is falling apart to compensate for the expansion and contraction. So when it does this, I can't breathe or swallow. So in order to breathe and swallow, I have to coagulate my liquids. As I do this, that means that I have 4 different massagers. I have a medical device that goes from my waist to the top of my head to coagulate the liquids. It's like little massages, but it's not enough. So I need something that's more heavy duty. Now this guy is a handheld massager. And yes, it's chargeable. And then you turn it on. And then it turns blue. And the little things move. You see how they move? So that's when I have to go up and down. You want to go up and down. You want to go back and forth on your face, your head. So normally I start on my head. I have to coagulate everything that's in there that's settling, creating itis, because itis hurts. It is inflammation. So I have to move coagulating the liquids. And then I do my neck. And this is also what you're supposed to do to keep younger looking skin, is you have to create your collagen. It's not just in the foods you consume. It is moving the skin where it needs to go, so that collagen is what keeps the skin looking younger. And when it is, then people are all hung up into the pretties. They think it looks great when you're young and you have, I don't want to be bad, but people like, for some reason, young looking people, and they're trying to mimic that. And the older man wants to marry the younger woman, and the younger man wants to marry the older woman, and it's like, dude, it's your skin, alright? So what I do is I find the ones that have a lot of itis, and then I will turn around and, dude, I'm doing acupuncture. And I find it, and then I'm like, push as hard as possible. Holy smokes. It loosens the tight muscles, and the more it does, the more the lymphedema can do the opposite. I'm coagulating my liquids in my lymph nodes so I can breathe and swallow. So when I pressure point, it releases the pressure, and it goes down to my collarbone. See, it's all red because it's a lot of buildup. It's been building up for over 2 years. It's actually irritating. So I got the medical device I wear every night, and then I have this I have to do in the morning. That way I can function throughout the day. And let me tell you, your tension headache starts here. It goes the 2 lines in the back. Here's your spine. This is your muscles. You must move the muscles. Back and forth. Up and down. Because you're coagulating. You're creating balance. So there's that, there's that, there's that, there's that. Okay. Now we can actually begin the fun. Alright, let me just move this. Oh, what I'm making, I forgot till I saw my mason jars. What I'm making is I can no longer have macaroni, any kind of pasta. I can no longer have beans. Dude, talk about itis. Oh, Lord have mercy. No breathing, no swallowing. I have histamine intolerant. So no more pasta and no more beans. If I eat beans, I'm trying to kill myself because I can't breathe and swallow. What good are you going to do in life with like that, right? So I can use the tricolor or the white color, and to me it's just straight up whatever. Tomato, spaghetti, whatever. It's quinone, whatever. It's multicolored and white, alright? So it's another family of the rice. So I can have rice and I can have these. And then I add these with the other ingredients I put in my pot. I hate dishes, always have, so I cook everything in one pot. And I got a haircut because it's really irritating. Trust me. I have an implant in the back of my head because I have permanent hearing damage because of radiation. It's implanted in the bone in my head. And then what I do is I take the cochlear hearing aids, snap them on so I can hear. These don't work. These work. So I stuck it in storage about a year ago, and I have to go and dig it out. It's really irritating that you have to move your hair. It was in the middle of my back. I had to get it cut because, do you know what it's like to move all that hair every day, take a toothbrush and scrub that metal in the back of your head? You're going to do that every day for the next 50, 100 years of your life. Do you know how irritating and time-consuming that is? So I finally got to the point of the 8th level in psychology. You have 8 levels of emotions till you get to the level of acceptance. So I'm at level 8. I accept that I'm permanently deaf, and I will have these hearing aids till I'm in my casket. It's facts. So it took a few years to deal with that. I'm there. I accept it. So I have short hair on the fact of needing to, not wanting to, because a woman's hair is her asset. Mine had perfect flowing waves, and I'm gonna miss my hair, but new day, new way, new me in kosher motif. This is what happens after you've had your 3rd different cancer. It's a new lifestyle, and this is what I do. Now, as I said, for today's sermon session, and remember, my esophagus is falling apart. I have dry mouth syndrome because of the cancer, radiation, and chemotherapy treatments. You have dry mouth. That's part of it. When I was going through chemo and radiation, I didn't eat for 4 months. I went from 165 pounds to 111. I did not have food. I didn't have any solid, no liquid, no nothing. 4 months. All that hard work for all those years of bodybuilding and everything else I was training for, gone. X-night like it never existed. Do you know how irritating that is? All that hard work. I was doing 600 crunches a day, 4 days a week. I was jogging the bleachers at the high school, up 25 times up, 25 times down, 4 days a week. I did 40 years of aerobics because I was going to train. I was training to promote my books. How do you promote your books for free? Well, there you go. Competitions. Going into competitions, vegan bodybuilding, belly dancing. This is what I was training for. And then, lo and behold, cancer decided to invade my space. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm busy. I got things to do. Get this crap out of my life. In 4 weeks after the cancer treatments, gone, baby. X-night out. And so then, 4 weeks, it was gone. I did fasting 4 months. And so then, my world exists on a whole nother level. Whew. You gotta catch those moments when they're flying, seriously. Dry mouth, time for a drink. That means you also take a drink, okay? Remember, when you're feeling hungry, your body does not differentiate between solids and liquids. All it says is a signal to your brain that I'm hungry. And in reality, you're already past dehydration, so your body's actually thirsty. It just doesn't have a signal for that because you don't know how to read those signals. If you knew how to read your own blueprint schematics in your DNA, you would know exactly what is the coded message of food or liquid. But you as a human reside in 3D, 3rd dimension. You don't understand how to crack the code of the coded messages that your body is sending to you. Okay? So make sure you get your adequate amount of liquids per day so you don't get dehydrated. Dehydration creates bacteria that sits too long, creates a virus that creates illness, sickness, and disease. So it just all flows because no coagulation. Everything is like, okay, you gotta keep the coagulation going. All right. Now, today is today's moon cycle. Greetings and welcome to One Sparkle of Church, presented by Healing by JDL LLC. Today's sermon session, today's moon cycle. Yeah, I wrote this about maybe 30 minutes before I came on this video, and I got the podcast going and everything. Basically, in 5th grade, they said I was a slow learner. In my mind, you ask for something, you want it, you got it. So, speed reading class in 5th grade, now everything is talk fast, do fast, write fast, everything is fast, drive fast, everything is fast. You want it, you got it. I am the boomerang. I am the karmic effect. You want it, you got it. I give it back at you. Booyah, baby. That's the way it works. You don't want to know? Don't ask. A lot of people over the years have learned, don't ask. You really want to know? I'll tell you. And then you're like, okay, I know next time not to ask. If you knew what was going to happen, would you really want to know? 100% no, because they believe and equate to death. Let's just say you get in your car and you don't go around your car because you assume focal point, get in the car and go. You don't think. Thought before action. Aren't you taught that in elementary school? Like kindergarten? Thought before action? Just because you grow up doesn't mean you forget the things that you learned in elementary school. Now you got something sitting behind your truck, your car, your van, whatever. And I won't get in a discussion of SUVs because to me it's like, that's the most stupidest vehicle name I ever heard of in my entire life. It's not a car. It's not a truck. Sports utility. You could just blow that right on the window. Okay? So, oh, God. Where did that come from? Me and Al are not friends at all because that's a man and I'm a woman. Shame on you for spying on me. I can't believe if I do a thumb, it's gonna, holy smoke. Random discoveries. What does the finger mean? Does it mean anything? Does the finger mean peace, baby? No, it's just a thumb. It's a thumbs up. How odd. I have a Mac and I would not wish it on my worst enemy. Never in this lifetime. So here we go. In the year of 3000 BC, the Babylonians started adding zeros to numbers. The Sumerians started in 4000 BC, started adding spaces in numbers. Mayans started adding zeros in 350 AD. In the 5th century CE in India, zeros in astrological calculations. In astrology, we use the numbers 1 through 9. Each number has a specific meaning depending upon which culture you reside in. Numbers calculate meanings in action. The number 0 is the starting point of action. You have in, of, in, upon, and of. In is in Earth's hemisphere. Upon is upon Earth's hemisphere. Of is above Earth's hemisphere. And of course you'd know this already if you read my book published in 2013. It's all scientific mathematical calculation, okay? So, in astrology, we use the numbers 1 through 9. Each number has a specific meaning depending upon which culture you reside in. Numbers calculate meaning and action. The number 0 is the starting point of action. The action correlates to movement. Being is being still in the center, and center is 0. This is your starting point, 0. Okay? Always. 0 equals center, and 0 equals self. When movement happens, this is called action, and the numbers represent action. Action is life force energy. And of course, if you knew Reiki, you would know that. And you knew reflexology, you would know that. All right? And those I am practitioner in both, along with the other laundry list of professions I do. Now, action is life force energy. Energy that sits becomes stagnant. The stagnation is the same as when bacteria and viruses start growing in stagnation. And typically water, when it is not moving, it is not coagulating. It creates, this is coagulation. When it is still, it creates bacteria and viruses. The movement of the numbers moving to, the stagnation is the same as when bacteria and viruses start growing in stagnation. It is the movement of the numbers moving from plus, and that is positive, or the number is moving minus, and that is negative. This is what scientists do when they calculate numbers in positive and negative through bacteria and viruses. For me, I have created in the adventures all of my life, simply because I have studied, researched, experimented, and experienced. This then creates an adventure. It's fun. It really is. The adventure has led me through the path of 3 different types of cancer. As I said, I have created through the number phases, through science, as I am my own guinea pig, the mathematical equation. Through American science, we start with algebra, then geometry, then fractals, then Fibonacci, until we reach the 5th level of mathematics. With all mathematical equations from scientific perspective creates the hypothesis and theories. Algebra was created in the 9th century AD by a Persian mathematician. Geometry was created in the 300 BC by a Greek mathematician. Fractals were created in 1975 by a Poland mathematician. Fibonacci was created in the year of 1202 by an Italian mathematician. Math is how humans understand through process can create life. Since the beginning of human history, balances life through numbers. Only 4 levels of mathematics through 9 numbers create 3D third dimension. Within the realms of 3D third dimension, humans have learned through behavioral patterns, and of course we know that as psychology. In wishful thinking, utopia, how to move the numbers. When the numbers are moved, they are moved through the human brain and create a mathematical equation. Through this method, in a scientific method, is the 5th level of mathematics. Through the hypothesis and theories in the adventures creates the 5th theorem. You got Pythagorean theorem, and the list goes on and on. Nostradamus created through hypothesis and theories, and that is a theorem. Pythagoras created through hypothesis and theories, that is a theorem. That's how you hear Pythagorean theorem. It's all math. There are many great mathematicians that create theorems. The 5th theorem is not man-made concepts that create man-made products, because all great mathematicians in the realm of science created theorems. The fifth theorem is women-made, specifically woman-made concept that creates woman-made products. For every positive ionic energy, there is a negative ionic energy through EMF that creates theorems. I have created through the fifth level in mathematics, the fifth level in theorem. Yes, there is a name for the fifth level, and yes, you will know it after I have finished all of my calculations. According to my 7th CT scan and my 7th MRI, the scan showed I have an atrophy in my head. Lucky me, right? It is a rule to keep going to the cancer center for 5 years after the cancer is gone. Since I had sinus cancer, this relates to ears, nose, and throat. That is the ENT department at the hospital. With sinus cancer, there are no stages of the level of cancer. You have 80% chance of not reoccurring. This is why they make you go for 5 years. During the 5 years, they do many tests after cancer is gone to make sure it doesn't come back. In 2023, my 7th CT and MRI test showed atrophy in my brain. The sinus cancer was eating the bone in my head. Atrophy means stagnation. Science states that a person with atrophy has 6 to 9 years to live. Basically, my time, according to science, is limited. I am on a time crunch. Remember, 2023. The 4 years I have completed after cancer brought a totally different awareness through my human 5 senses. I have explained this through my theorem, through science, the numbers that create who you are and your purpose in life. I've been doing this for 4 years. Have you been paying attention? The question is always from everyone, why am I here? I have explained this for the past 4 years, how to understand why you are here. According to science, with my atrophy, I will pass from this lifetime in the year of 2030, which means I am on a time crunch to finish my mathematical equation of my theorem. My mathematical equation through my theorem uses my 2 doctorate degrees, and I'm working on my 3rd doctorate degree, will create the 5th theorem in mathematics. The cool thing about life is that I am a girl from a small town that never went to high school and was able to achieve 2 doctorate degrees. Big thumbs up on that. I don't get a big old bubble thumbs up. See how moody your Mac is? Mackety Mac 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 Mac. Okay. Alright. I have, and I will, do more in 1 lifetime than most do in 10 lifetimes. I believe that dogma norm keeps everyone inside the box. Inside the box is thinking inside the box and coloring inside the lines. In kindergarten, you are taught to color inside the lines instead of outside the lines. I learned this the first year attending public education. I learned when the teacher smacked my hand with a ruler and said, "We don't write with our left hand. We write with our right hand." When you know the geometric design of the human body and body parts, you understand what mechanisms are created in the human body to write with the left hand. As we should know, pick up a book if you don't know that the left hand of the human body is the female ionic energy, number 6. Love. Since my birth, my birthday is 06/06/1963. I have 3 sixes, and that equates to 6 levels of love. Since my birth is 0606, it equates to love. As we should know, pick up a book if you do not know that the right side of the human body is the male ionic energy. Number 3, conflict. I have one number 3, conflict. The dominating factor is 3 levels of love is equal to number 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. That equals 9. The number 9 equals the void in space. Remember, it's about time, space, and mass matter in the quadratic equation in the human personality. It's a whole nother theorem and a whole nother mathematical equation, the 5th level. Now 9 plus 3 equals 12 equals 3, plus many other factors that create the numbers in my theorem. Life is my laboratory. Within my laboratory, I love the realms of creating. Creating to me is taking different avenues in life. That is mindset and mind path in life, making them into one concept. Same as when I cook. I add at least 30 different products in my cooking pot to create my meals. Everything starts with the number 0, which is the pot. Until we add one ingredient to the pot, then you have 0 plus 1. Depending upon your culture, this will create a different mindset of how you create your numbers. The sun god is number 3, conflict, because it is the male ionic energy. In Egyptology, the sun is the sun god Ra, and the human is the dominant during the day in male ionic energy. This means during the day, when the sun is shining, you are dominant through the right side of the human body. Of course, when you study and pick up a book, you will learn mythology and Ayurveda, holy scriptures in India, that dominate the sides of the human body. With the same mindset, you will learn that Ra has a wife that is the moon goddess Hathor. Also through studies that show that Hathor is the moon goddess, and that is female ionic energy, number 6, love. We all know that the ionic energy is EMF within the human body and correlating planets within the solar system we exist in. Basically, in 24-hour day, 12 of those of the 24-hour day is male ionic energy, and the other 12 is female ionic energy. By day, you are dominant in number 3, conflict. By night, you are dominant in number 6, love. Okay? Sun, conflict, moon, love. By day, I am dominant through number 3, Gemini. By night, I am number 9, Sagittarius. My destiny number is 4 through one culture, numerology, and I am a number 6 in another culture, numerology. So I am a 4, 5, 6, 3. I have all the numbers within the sphere of this existence in this lifetime. I know how to balance all the numbers. That is kosher motif. And following numerology concept that dates back to the beginning in human history, calculate numerology with the 8 levels in the moon cycles correlating to the human 8 levels of processing human emotion. The numbers will tell you your path in life. Today is waning gibbous phase of the moon cycle. Basically, inside you have expansion and contraction. And today's moon cycle is contraction because the moon is shrinking in a mythological way through mythology. Mythology is human history in different cultures and the particles that create part of the whole. Now, when you actually physically put a book in your hand, you are connecting with the EMF of a tree as you're connecting through the EMF of you, through expansion and contraction, giving and taking, ionic energy. It's a big mathematical equation, and it takes time. I've been doing it 60 years in this lifetime, and 61 because I'm 61. And I did it in many lifetimes previous because you carry your past life genes within each lifetime. And in my book, I already explained a lot of that stuff. This book is kind of like putting everything together, like all 8 books into one book, one giant book. It's kind of like you have a choice to study. What are you going to study today? A dictionary, an encyclopedia, a thesaurus. What are you going to study today? And that's what my whole lifetimes, because it's life, death, life, birth, rebirth, is trilogy. That is reincarnation. So it's not just life, death. There's always the middle. Heaven, earth, man. There's always the middle. That's called trilogy. That is the triangle. The triangle is the fire element. And you have air, earth, fire, water, wood. Air, earth, fire, water, ether. Air, earth, fire, water, space. Alright? So as I'm doing my mathematical equation, I'm creating the 5th book. And as with all things, lucky me, they tell me that through many processes that I've received, my brain is looking for the word. The different books that I've received about who I am, because the more I learn about me, the more I can help others, which in turn helps humanity. Which, through these charts, that's the word. It was like, I knew it was there. It was going to come back. Through these charts, it told me exactly who I was in my past life, who I am in this life, and who I will become in my next life. And basically in this life, I'm not meant to be rich monetarily, but I'm rich in knowledge, and that's why I'm a walking miracle after 3 different cancers, and I bring my knowledge forward to all. And everyone has, through, if you have faith, you then believe. If you have no faith, you do not believe. When you don't believe, it doesn't exist. And you're residing in your first chakra, your first aura. I will give you one little tidbit in your health that you must do every day. That's why I have oatmeal loaded. Male must have 3 servings of fruit a day. A female must have 5 servings of fruit a day. A teenager must have 6 servings of fruit a day. Now when you understand holistic nutrition, what is the point and the purpose of that particular product? Well, your hormones are within your sexual organs. They won't teach you this in sex ed. Alright? Now, your hormones reside in your estrogen and testosterone. Now, that's a subject for another day, because I was born a female in this lifetime, so I can tell you exactly what's going on and how to stop the shenanigan of premenopausal and actually create kosher motif in premenopausal through menopausal. Okay? That's a story for another day. Alright? Now, for the male, in your testosterone is in your cojones, your gonads, your balls, whatever. So when men hit age 50, they're just like the female, and they are now in post-menopause. Yes, men go through menopause because, yes, men have hormones. So if you don't want prostate cancer, go eat some pomegranate, okay? Now, a man needs to balance hormones. In order to balance your hormones, boys were never taught how to deal with their emotions. Well, as a mother, and my youngest is 40, as a mother, I'm telling you that this is what you do to balance. Why do you think we have, number 3, conflict during the day called war around the world? Testosterone, baby. Alright, is it estrogen? Now it's testosterone. Men love conflict. They love trauma drama. And that is Psychology 101. Alright, now, what you gotta do is you have to keep your hormones in check. If not, it's emotional immaturity and you're throwing a temper tantrum and you're like 40, 50, 90 years old. Seriously? I'm not taking you to the store if you're going to throw a temper tantrum because you can't control your hormones. This is called emotional immaturity. Emotionally immature. And who knows this best? A 2-year-old. Who knows the perfect word of no? A 2-year-old. Alright? So, in order to emotionally grow up, you balance your hormones. You eat the adequate amount of the fruit you need. Now, that is a whole nother ball game in itself. When you know your dosha, you also go by your world astrology sign because you have 22 world cultures. That means you have 22 astrology signs residing in one body of being. Yeah. So you have 22 personalities. And according to Freudian theory, id, ego, superego, your superego is on your high horse, alright? And you have ego is your balance. That is fashion. Alright? Now when you get the superego, is high horse, you are now the pro. You are the know-it-all. Alright? Now, in order to not be an idiot in a superego professional, bring it down, become human, become balanced in ego. Alright? How do you do this? You eat the adequate amount of type of fruits that your 22 astrology signs need, that there are so many factoring equations into. Equations are different details. What are details in science? Particles. Particles are part of the whole. What is the whole? The whole is you. What are you? You are 0. It is all a numbers game. When I have finished the book, you will look at it and be like, totally, yeah, that makes sense. Why didn't they just tell us that in the beginning? All you're getting now is the Holy Scriptures through different cultures. Vedas in India, you get the Holy Bible in Christian and Catholic, you get the Mormon Bible, you get the Satanic Bible, you get all the different Bibles or all the different Holy Scriptures. It's just a book. It's just a writing. It means absolutely nothing until you give it faith to create belief. And that is your choice on your path, from life path to soul path. And life is love, love is life. Blessing from Reverend Lewis. If you like my content, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support, and have a fantastic day. Peace. Thumbs up. Okay. Bye now.